Greetings, globeheads and flurfers. After all this time, I have finally found something on which I can agree with flat earthers. We believe the same thing on one topic. Not for the same reasons, but I agree with them on this. Flat earthers don't believe in space aliens. Now, they don't believe it because they don't believe space is real. But lately, there's all this stuff going around social media about the government has admitted that UFOs are real, or even in some cases, they say the government has admitted that aliens are real. The fact of the matter is that the government released some videotape of a UFO sighting. Okay. The government has never denied that UFOs exist. The problem is that most people that spout this stuff about UFOs don't even stop to think what UFO means. Sure, there are UFOs. You see, the term UFO refers to unidentified flying objects. Admitting that there are unidentified flying objects is a far different thing than admitting that aliens from another planet have visited Earth. You see, most of the people that argue in favor of the whole space alien thing, their argument goes like this: we can see hundreds of billions of galaxies with our telescopes and such. And the average galaxy has 250 to 350 trillion stars or billion stars or whatever it is. We're talking about trillions and trillions and trillions of stars out there, each with who knows how many planets. The odds are really high that there's some planet out there similar enough to Earth that intelligent life exists. I don't disagree with that. The likelihood that there's something else like us out there, I, I don't disagree that that's high. The problem with this argument is you're completely discounting the distances. Does anybody really grasp the magnitude of the distances we're talking about? Really? Because we're not talking about just, possibly decades and decades to travel between stars. But I don't think most people comprehend the energy that is needed to do that. You see, if you were going to travel at the speed of light, it would take decades to get between two stars. But as you accelerate, as you approach the speed of light, you need more and more energy until it's almost an infinite amount that you'd need to reach that speed. And it's not like you'd be traveling at the speed of light from the time you left Earth until the time you got where you were going. No. You'd have to accelerate up to the speed of light, and then about halfway there, you'd have to start putting on the brakes, and you'd need just as much energy to slow down. Now, people will argue, well, I think you don't understand that, it'll have to do with warping and bending space and time. And all that stuff's theoretical. And until you show it can happen, it doesn't mean anything to me when you theorize it can happen. I think the person who has talked about this topic to me with the most logic is Neil deGrasse Tyson. I love bringing up his name because I know how much the flat earthers all idolize him. But Neil deGrasse Tyson argues, if you want me to believe in aliens, well then bring me an alien. And that's the thing. There's absolutely no reason to believe in aliens visiting Earth unless you're presented with some evidence of that. And see, the whole argument about UFOs is the whole problem with that. unidentified flying object. As Neil says, excuse me, Dr. Tyson says, when you say unidentified flying object, you're saying there's something flying up there and I don't know what it is. Full stop. End of sentence. See, you can't say I don't know what it is and therefore it is a. That doesn't make any sense. Because it's an unidentified flying object, it has to be something from outer space. No, it's unidentified, meaning it's unidentified, meaning you don't know what it is. I happen to believe that probably at least a portion of the quote UFO sightings throughout history have most likely been people actually viewing top secret military equipment that's being tested. You don't even know what's out there. I mean, there were stealth aircraft that were declassified around the time of the Gulf War, which was 1991. There were stealth aircraft declassified at that time that had been flying since the late 60s. Now, if the stuff we know about now was secret for 30 years before we found out about it, there's probably stuff flying right now that we won't find out about for the next 30 years. And I'm sure the government is more than happy to let people believe that it came here from some other planet. Look, I'm not saying that all this is possible. I'm just saying you're going to have to give me some evidence that it's possible and some evidence that it's happened. Now, if you happen to be a flat earther and you don't believe in space aliens because you don't believe in space, that's just stupid. But we've never seen any evidence that anybody's ever visited here from another planet. Good night.